So Steph Curry heard just about, I guess, everybody talking the past few days, past few weeks, because he actually dropped a tactical nuke on the Blazers this evening. Tonight, I'm recording it. Technically, I guess it's the fourth now already. But oh man, did Steph Curry do some Steph Curry things tonight? There's a lot of things that changed, right? So first, right off the bat, I think the most important thing is that Draymond Green was in the lineup tonight, and I know he didn't really have a spectacular box score game, but his plus minus was he's plus 22, highest plus minus on the team. I think that's real. I think he really did contribute a ton on defense. He had 8 assists and 1 turnover. That's pretty phenomenal. I'm not gonna lie. You hate to see that he only had 1 point, but in terms of what you want from Draymond Green, I mean, you're not asking for scoring. You're getting that from 17 from Kelly Oubre, surprisingly. He had a really great game. I mean, how many of those shots were assisted by Draymond Green? Who knows? But he kind of had a stellar performance, Kelly Oubre. It's like one of the better games of the season for him. Andrew Wiggins, 21, 7 rebounds. He's doing what he needs to do. He got 2 blocks. That's phenomenal. Wiseman got 2 blocks as well. He only had a 12-point game, but that's what you expect from him. Eric Paschall, really, kind of, where he belongs. Not really getting too many minutes. But you don't need any of them to do anything. When Steph Curry is going to win his matchup that hard, basically just feast on Damian Lillard, and they ended up going with like Derrick Jones Jr. As like his one of the main people to guard Curry, but it just ended up making him even hotter. It was really hard. They didn't really have any good personnel to put on him to try to take care of business. One thing that I am a little bit surprised about is that they didn't try to use Anthony Simons more. I think Anthony Simons is an interesting character. He's really an interesting little player, little piece. He didn't really have a phenomenal game. He went 1 for 3 on 3 points, but he was actually the only player. Funnily enough, looking at this, he got 12 minutes, but he was the only player with a positive plus minus, so they were winning when he was on the floor. He's kind of like because they basically were unable to play Jusuf Nurkic the whole night. He only got 23 minutes because you had to go so small, so you ended up running a lineup that involved Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, and Gary Trent. I understand you have to try to get Gary Trent to try to guard Steph, maybe, but it's like didn't work. So why don't you try to put Anthony Simons in and keep up, or at least attempt? The Warriors only won the game by 15, and it's not like Damian Lillard. It's not like Damian Lillard even lost his matchup that hard to where. I mean, what I'm trying to say is I think that Steph Curry scoring 60-something points is not something you can consistently. Damian Lillard technically basically lost his matchup by 30 points, a minus 30 on Dame. But if you look through the rest of the team, I don't know. It's just so hard to figure out where you can get those 15 points. You need a lot more from Jusuf. Jusuf Nurkic needs to be a 20. I really think that's it right there. Is that Robert Covington probably needs to be a 15-point-a-game guy. Enes Kanter is never really going to be a 24-point game guy for you. Carmelo kind of not really doing much. But regardless, it just comes down to the simple fact that Steph Curry just basically, I don't know if somebody showed him a tweet where somebody was saying Channing Frye just called you out on NBA TV saying your legacy's in danger or something, and he was like, all right, whatever, these guys don't have anybody who can guard me, so I'm just going to shoot 1 billion times. Knowing the NBA, he'll probably get rest, but whatever. I don't mind. I actually really am just glad to see Steph Curry get his career high and just kind of quiet all these people down who don't know what they're talking about, who are basically saying, Steph Curry can't lead a bad team to the playoffs. Well, I think we'll see, right? This is going to be the test. I think that Steph Curry's team is a little bit better than some of the trash heaps that other stars have found themselves on. Like, I think Kelly Oubre and Andrew Wiggins will kind of get better the more that they play with Steph and Draymond. Like, Steph and Draymond are both vets, highly respected characters that you can really, like, just look at and say, yeah, okay, they know what they're doing. I'm just going to listen to them, and we'll probably win more games. Like, I feel like Steph Curry is the best player that, well, I don't even have to feel like that. I know it's true. Steph Curry is the best player Andrew Wiggins ever played with. Steph Curry is the best player that Kelly Oubre has ever played with. And same thing with James Wiseman. They're trying to learn, and they're trying to get there. And I think James Wiseman's going to get better when more he plays with Draymond, the more he'll get, like, defensive insight there. Like, that's going to be good for him. He's already pretty developed and polished on the offensive side. Maybe I'll have to discuss more about Wiseman. I really like him, but this is about Steph. I just think that at the end of the day, he really is the best shooter that we've ever seen in the NBA, and you can't really compare eras, but I think that trying to call somebody else the greatest shooter is just kind of dumb because of the amount of, and he's not just a shooter. Like, that's the thing. Like, you can call him the greatest shooter of all time because he had a bunch of ridiculous shots where he's just pulling from everywhere and he's getting and one buckets, but he scored so many times. I believe he got above 50, I think 6 times in his career or something like that. And when he was above 60, he only had 6 threes, which is the fewest he'd ever done that on, which is something to think about. He got a lot of free throws, 20 free throws tonight, but he had a lot of two-pointers. He ended up barely shooting more than half of his shots as threes. He shot 16 threes and had 31 field goals overall. But I mean, the man's just ridiculous. I mean, 62 points is that's mythical. I'm glad Steph can kind of show us the money, show us what he's got. Well, he's still got it. It turns out that the solution Steve Kerr was looking for when he was making the Warriors do all that calculus was actually just 30, and he's pretty dumb for not realizing that earlier.